I want to give you a fresh update, the prophecy alert about some things that we see right now that I think it's interesting to keep on your radar. And some of the things are from the Orthodox saints of Eastern Europe. Listen to this short clip here.
That one day, this was uttered years ago, 20 years ago, by an ascetic in Crete, Theodore, an ascetic in Crete. He says, one day you'll be sipping coffee. You will hear the news that the Israelis have hit the nuclear program of Persia. That will be when the major worldwide events will start.
So you see now Trump threatens to bomb Iran if it does not make the nuclear deal. And right now, this is the last day we see they're going to have direct talks about this. So this is really much in the air right now. And here's what he says then.
At the same time, another sign, either shortly before or after, Erdogan, the head of Turkey, will fall. And this will be the sign of the great events that were mentioned in these prophecies.
So we see right now phenomenal protests last week in Turkey, hundreds of thousands of people in the street protesting. For many days they're doing huge boycotts. They are very angry that Erdogan imprisoned the political opponent. So we're not gonna know how it's gonna end, but this is something that's could be keep an eye on right now. And then they also prophesied, the war in Ukraine, Syria, Israel.
Και στο τέλος τον παγκόσμιο πόλεμο, ο οποίος ξεκίνησε, όπως είπαμε, από τη Συρία, Ουκρανία, Ισραήλ, αλλά μετά την Περσία, όταν χτυπήσουν το πυρηνικό πρόγραμμα της Περσίας οι Εβραίοι, τόσο η Κίνα όσο και η Ρωσία θα υποχρεωθούν να αντιδράσουν. Οι προφητείες λένε των Αγίων, και πρόσεξε, όχι μόνο των Ελλήνων Αγίων, και των Ρώσων και των Ρουμάνων και των Σέρβων, ότι θα ρίξουν πυρηνικά. Και το εκπληκτικό, ξέρετε τι είναι? Ο Πούτιν και η Κίνα δεν το θέλουν αυτό. Το θέλει πάρα πολύ η νέα τάξη πραγμάτων. Τους εξωθούν. Αυτή είναι η λέξη η ελληνική. Τους πιέζουν.
So many people prophesy that China also will be part of that invasion of the West, and we'll see that it's more trouble now. Chinese soldiers have been found on the ground fighting in Ukraine, supposedly, and we have now this trade war with 104% tariffs from China. So things are getting worse. And we've seen many problems. We had a shit show in the Oval Office with Trump, J.D. Vance, and Zelensky fighting. Zelensky said Putin will die soon. And then this was just like 2 days after Putin's limousine exploded. And then the following day, I think it was Trump said he's very angry and pissed off at Putin. So things are not going well just in the last few weeks. And for me, I just want to say that I cannot look at the NATO logo without seeing a swastika. It's just impossible for me. And also that's unnerving. You look at the headquarters in Brussels. To me, it looks like the SS logo. We know, of course, that the Adolf Heusinger, the Hitler's chief of staff, was a leader of NATO for several years. And there are many other similar examples of high-ranking Nazi officers on positions like that. So I think just be cautious with this idea of peace coming now. We saw in the peace process, Russia annexed Crimea, and NATO didn't talk to Russia for 2 years. Then they invited them over 2 years later on Hitler's birthday. That didn't end well. We had then Ukraine war. The first time the Secretary General of NATO came down to Kiev, he gave the finger actually to the Russians. It was on Hitler's birthday, and he said, Ukraine is going to be part of NATO. We're always going to support them. Now that Trump in February had his peace deal, once again he said he want to have it on Hitler's birthday, April 20. He said it already in February. Why didn't he say Easter Sunday? It is on Easter, happened to be on April 20 this year. He did not say it. He said, we want to have peace by April 20. So, Hitler's birthday once again. The same thing we see. Finland's president just came down some days ago and again touts this date, April 20, Hitler's birthday, gonna ceasefire. So, if you do some research, you'll find out that the celebrations of Hitler's birthday, he has been celebrated more than any other person in history with the birthday party he had in his days. And Trump has praised him and said he had Hitler's generals. He gave his power over to Elon Musk, who did 3 Hitler salutes in the inauguration party. His chief strategist used to be Steve Bannon. He did 4 Hitler salutes on a CPAC meeting. So this idea that this organization, NATO, is going to cave down to its old arch enemy Russia, and there's going to be some peace, and this is going to happen by Hitler's birthday, I don't think so. Just, rather just expect that when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them, like it says in 1 Thessalonians 5:3. I'm not saying anything will happen on April 20 that day, but just, don't expect it all to be peace and good times. So just keep a watch out, that's what I want to say, because you do not know what day the Lord will come. And just be alerted by these things to stay ready, because a lot of things in the air that I think it's just good to have on the radar. I don't know when anything will happen, of course. But then there's just one more thing, and this is the thing that you have not heard anywhere else, and this is a Swedish prophecy here. This guy, Kenneth Mackey, I've talked to him several times over the phone myself. He had prophecies in the 90s, and he predicted long before it was possibly known several things. Like, for example, he predicted the drones would come with cameras that could spy in through windows. And he predicted that Sweden will become part of NATO without a referendum, which was not thinkable. He says that Russia will invade Sweden. And the last thing he has on his prophetic timeline before that is actually that this Swedish military, they will consider and send the fighter jet JAS down to something. And they've been pondering that for a long time. But now finally they did, in the last days here, sending for the first time ever their fighter jet JAS, and it's down to Poland for some policing missions there. So that prophecy has also come through. So, just like Jesus says in Luke 21:36, watch therefore and pray always that you may be counted worthy to escape. Because I think we're drawing close. So God bless you. Thank you for watching, and hope it gave you something. Thank you. Goodbye.